Okay, well, hello, good evening, everybody. Hope you're having a nice Monday evening. As we're getting pretty close to the end of the semester, just a few short weeks to go. And as I mentioned in the announcement for this morning, we're kind of like American Pharoah coming down to the home stretch of the Belmont Stakes, or if you prefer the Preakness or the Kentucky Derby, or the last race that he won not just about a week and a half or a couple of weeks ago. All right, well, listen, on this video, I'll try to keep it as short as possible. I just want to go ahead and quickly show you what you need to do. The best way to do things in terms of posting your comments in the first of the big three forums. So this one, of course, focusing in on immigration. I'll have some more videos talking about the auto industry and the 1980s and music video sections. Pretty soon. In fact, I'll get those videos to you certainly before we get into Thanksgiving. And also, on that note, on the videos, I think at this point in time right now, definitely start thinking about which 1980s music videos you want to cover, and be sure to choose the videos that are listed right here in the class, right here in Blackboard, in the external links and videos section. But I'll talk more about the 1980s stuff and the auto industry items coming up next week. All right, let me go ahead and tell you a little bit in terms of what you have to do. First, a couple of basic the basic parameters about this. On this topic, all you need to do is to choose a current newspaper article or news site article about anything on the topic of immigration, and specifically United States immigration, that is, immigration to the United States, and of course, Mexican immigration is definitely at the forefront of it. You know, Mr. Trump was making a lot about this during the summer, and that's of course something that's still being discussed in the current presidential campaign. But now the new issue that's popping up now is the idea of Syrian immigration. Of course, we had the tragic event which took place in Paris over the weekend, and some of the governors in the various states are now saying that they don't want Syrian immigrants coming into the United States. Whether you agree with it or not, I think just the tone of that is definitely reminiscent of what was happening in the United States in the turn of the century, the 1890s, the 1890s and 1900s, with respect to views toward European immigrants, that is, those from Southern and Eastern Europe, and of course toward Asians too, whether it be Chinese and Japanese. So I think a lot of undertones with respect, or a comparison with respect to anti-immigrant sentiment about 100 years ago happening right now with respect to Syrian immigration. So that's definitely one angle you can look at if you want to focus in on that for your topic. Okay, but let's go ahead. Let me give you the ins and outs, the nuts and bolts on how to do that. So of course, here's the announcement from this morning, and what you need to do, of course, is go into the discussion forum section. So let me go ahead and open that up. All right, and I moved the immigration forum to the very top. So since that's going to be our key big three topic for the week, I've got that at the very top this week, and then next week I'll move up the auto industry forum to the top, and then after we come back from Thanksgiving, then I'll move the 1980s forum to the top. But right now I have the immigration topic at the very top of the discussion board, and of course by this Friday at midnight on the 20th, that's when I want your comments. And in your comments, you're to do two things. Number one, have a link to the article that you're going to be talking about, and then, of course, your discussion about the article. So let's go and open up the forum and see what's in here now as of Monday night. And already Mary, Sydney, and Michael have already gotten things started. So so three of you, thank you so much for getting things started. I'll start reading your remarks at the end of the week. So once everyone's comments are posted, then I'll go back and start reading everybody's remarks. And new thing, I should have mentioned this at the beginning of the semester, but I'll mention it now. What I want is, in addition to replying to others, because that's part of the discussion, that's part of the participation grade, you can definitely review the information on the assignment worksheet on how to do that, on what you have to do. But also, too, everybody, please reply to me. When I reply when I reply to your when I reply to your comments, then please write back to me. That is, respond to me. So it looks like Sydney, you're going to be talking about Senator Rubio's immigration plan. That's a very excellent topic to look at. So Sydney, at the end of the week, after I reply to you, then please go back and reply to me. Likewise, Mary and Michael, when I reply to your comments at the end of the week or into next weekend, then please respond to me. So that's going to be new. That's going to be a new addition. That is a new requirement, so to speak. So everybody, after I reply to your immigration comments, then please reply to me, and then of course reply to at least one other person, one other individual from the class. Reply to at least one other individual besides me within the class. One of your classmates besides El Profesor himself. Okay, let me go ahead and quickly show you what you need to do. And to do that, I went ahead and called up the Los Angeles Times website. A lot of great stuff on immigration there. They've had over the years some great writers, great columnists. So you can't go wrong in going to the LA Times for great local, state, and local, state, and national stuff, and international topics too. So let's go ahead and open up the tab. Again, you don't have to stick with the Los Angeles Times. You can go to many other sources too. The Huffington Post has great articles, the Washington Post, the New York Times, or if you want to go into more local, the Union Tribune, San Diego Union Tribune, of course, the LA Times parent company now owns the UT, so undoubtedly you can find some good articles in the UT, the Union Tribune, or you can go to some of the news site pages like CNN, MSNBC, and you can and definitely Fox News too. I must admit I'm not a big fan of Fox News these days, but undoubtedly you'll find a few gems in there, and I'm sure you'll find some immigration topics in the Fox News website. But let's keep our focus on the LA Times website, and to do that, let's go ahead and do a basic search. We'll click a search right here at the very top. Let's go ahead and type in immigration. Okay, and a lot of topics popping up here, so let's just go ahead and click the hit the search box and see what our results yield. Okay, all right, look at this, everybody. Over 6,000 hits. So definitely you can't go wrong here finding anything. So let's find something that's more recent. And I found something earlier this evening that looked intriguing. So I'll use that as the sample. So we'll go ahead and keep scrolling down. And of course, right here, the caption here indicates the context of the story. So if it's more of a local issue, a state issue, if it's an editorial or a national issue, the blue links will give you a broader perspective on what the articles are all about. Here's an article by State Attorney General Kamala Harris talking about the recent ruling on President Obama's immigration policy. So that's one thing you can definitely check out. But there was one down here past the videos that actually caught my attention. Okay, here we go. That's right. This is actually in the print edition of the Times a couple of days ago. It's Mr. Trump was talking recently about how his mass deportation plan would be humane, that it would be easy, that it wouldn't cause a lot of trouble. He was comparing his policy to that of President Eisenhower back in the 1950s. But as Kate Linthicum of the Times points out in her story, the truth was a little bit more darker than what Mr. Trump would have you to believe. So I'm going to use that as my sample. Let me go ahead and open up the link here. And the article is called "The Dark Complex History of Trump's Model for His Mass Deportation Plan." So I'm going to go ahead and use that. And to do that, what you do is go ahead and copy the link here. So I'll just double click here so the link comes out in blue, and I'll hit Command C to copy the link. And I've got the link copied, so let me go ahead and create a thread. So let me go ahead and call this Profesor sample thread. Okay, and to do that, what you can do is you can put the link anywhere within the context of your article, that is, of your discussion. So if you want to go ahead and start saying, I have chosen this article from the Los Angeles Times. And you can do one of two ways. You can put a hyperlink here, so you can highlight the Los Angeles Times, the phrase right there, and then have the link there. Or if you wish to another easier method is just put a colon here, and then hit Command V. I'm using a MacBook, by the way. I'm not quite sure what the shortcuts are. That is, if you're using a PC devices. But if I hit Command V, then my link shows up here, and you're good to go. So basically, everybody, the point is, anywhere within the course of your discussion, please have the link somewhere. So if I want to go and check out what article it was, I can do that. I can do that quite easily. All right, so I've got that ready. So let me go ahead and hit return. And I'm ready to start my discussion. So all you need to do is just go ahead and start your paragraph, start your opening statements, and then you can put, "This is a very fascinating topic given the circumstances surrounding Mr. Trump's recent views on immigration, blah blah blah." So I'm not gonna type more. You get the idea here. So just follow this format here, and you're good to go, so to speak. And with it, I think that's pretty much all I need to say. Again, I don't need to say too much more in terms of what you have to do. Again, this is basically a sample purposes, but the main point here was that I wanted to show you that when you're writing your message, when you're writing your comments about your article, all I ask is that you have the link to your article somewhere within your discussion, and then go ahead and just write your discussion itself. So that's it. I think there's not much more that I need to say at this point in time. But again, you've got plenty of sources to look at to find articles about the immigration story. So again, the Los Angeles Times is a great place to look. But any newspaper would be great. Any reputable paper, of course, like the New York Times, the Washington Post, USA Today would have a few things. Huffington Post is a great place to look at contemporary articles. Politico is another pretty good website, and of course the usual suspects: CNN, MSNBC, Fox News, even the national network news sites like CBS, PBS NewsHour, ABC, and NBC. Or if you want to even get into some of the European sites as well, that's one method too. And of course, given the tragic circumstances in Paris, undoubtedly, all the European newspapers have immigration as part of their recent series of stories, and plus the famed British journal The Economist. That's one place you can check into. In fact, I think I've got a link to The Economist somewhere in the external links and video section. So if you want a more in-depth, thorough view from the perspective of a right of center perspective from Great Britain, then definitely The Economist. You can't get anything better than The Economist when it comes to these types of things. But Los Angeles Times is a great a source to look at. So you have no trouble at all if the LA Times is your go-to place for immigration articles. All right, so that's it, everybody. I hope this video helped, and I'll be back next week with more nuts and bolts videos in which we start exploring the auto industry and the 1980s music video discussions. Okay, everyone, so enjoy the rest of the evening, and I'll come back with a new announcement for everybody coming up on Wednesday.